welcome. My name's Ashley.
My name's Brandon.
And my name is Rachel, and this is Chat Roulette, where we roll and then chat.
Every week we talk about a new topic. It's time to roll a D20 and roll and tail topics.
And time is an illusion. Let's roll.
I stumbled on my words.
That's okay.
It's all I do every time. That's why I just kind of mumble and hope for the best.
Yeah, if you say it quick enough, no one notices.
It seems to make sense. So.
Yeah, they get it by
I
this
stumbled
point.
on my words again.
The
just
Patreon members get to see us fumble about on the first attempt. It's very funny.
I'm tired.
Flumble out.
Yeah. My skin's having a day.
Yeah.
Rachel's skin's having a day. My back is having a day of just like.
You want a skin graft of my neck?
No.
Okay. Just offering.
That feels
I mean,
weird.
I don't need it.
His skin is very moist.
Yeah.
Be really good
Yeah, I don't need it.
hydration.
Well, yeah, you do.
Okay, I mean, mine will grow back. It'll be fine.
There's hair there.
Yeah.
And you want your hair.
Mm.
Do you want
On my
lighter
neck?
brown hair?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe
question.
like neck hair will become into fashion soon, though.
Okay, question.
What?
If we're doing a skin graft of your skin, what replaces your skin?
Fish skin.
My skin?
No, fish
Do we
skin.
swap?
Fish skin.
Yeah.
Why fish?
That's what they use.
Because it's good with collagen, which is good for your skin.
Shout out Grey's Anatomy.
Wait, okay. So let me clarify. You wouldn't have scales because they would descale the fish. And they have the skin.
No,
underneath.
they would just apply it and like it's like a bandage basically, but it's a natural bandage.
No,
of
I'm
fish
saying you
skin.
have to descale the fish.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course.
But
It
like,
would be like a very fine layer.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, they do it on burn victims sometimes.
Yeah, it helps with healing because it has a lot of collagen.
Yeah, but one of the recent episodes I was watching too, or maybe it was on TikTok, I don't remember, but this girl had, for whatever, she was, or no, it wasn't on TikTok.
Yeah.
It was from Grey's Anatomy that I learned this, but this was TikTok on a different like medical show, like a real live one. And this girl had like extremely webbed toes, and they were gonna separate them, and they were gonna take a skin graft from her if they needed
They
to.
did fish
But she
skin.
said if it wasn't enough, then they were gonna use fish skin
Whoa.
to help
That's
enhance
cool.
the healing.
Crazy.
Yeah.
What kind of fish?
Cod, I think, is what they said. I don't remember what they said.
Okay,
It might
I'm
be
asking
tilapia.
you.
I don't remember.
I'm asking you.
Oh, what kind I would want?
Yeah.
Salmon be kind of fun.
Same's kind of bougie.
It is,
But it's also for the commoner, which isn't fun.
You don't want like a red snapper?
I don't know. I've never had a red snapper.
You're not a big fish person.
Not a big fish person.
I like a crab.
Maybe like a grouper.
Crab is a crustacean, not a fish.
So,
What about a shark?
ooh,
Shark is technically a fish. Yeah.
Mhm. Maybe that.
They're not like they're not mammals.
Some kind of fun.
maybe an orca.
Have shark skin,
Whoa.
orca skin.
Do you think it's different because they're like bigger?
Probably in
and
some
they're
ways.
thicker shark skin?
I think shark skin is more coarse as well, like naturally rather than scaly.
Well, then you would have a skin difference, a skiffrence.
I think it'd go away.
No, it's just like a bandage. They like remove it when new skin grows.
Yeah.
I thought it was way cooler.
It's
than
like a
that.
band-aid.
It'd be really cool if it
It's
was
literally a
just part
fish
fish.
band-aid.
Yeah.
You put a buckle on your dupa.
Oh,
Fish on your head.
not the
Mhm.
bacala on your dupa.
Just for a little bit. Just to help it heal.
That's something that our dad's parents would say to him, and then our dad started saying it to us when we were kids. Speaking of
really
being
funny.
kids, we were kids
yeah.
once.
Sometimes I still am.
I don't know if I am.
That's okay.
Sometimes you can be a child at heart.
Nah, I feel like sometimes I'm just chaotic
I'm just
That's okay
impish.
too.
I'm just impish.
Mm-hmm.
or amiable.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, today we're doing a little kind of game. It's kind of a game.
Sure.
I always think things are a game.
Gamify it.
We're gamifying
to make it fun.
and the point of the game is we're gonna randomly pick an age that we were, and we're gonna look at the time period of that age, specifically the year.
And then
And then
answer
we're
the
gonna-
question, have you ever had a dream where you, where you,
Yes.
when, where,
Exactly.
where you,
And
when?
then we're gonna
where
describe
you
what it
went.
was like, and if we have any fun stories or anecdotes, then we describe them.
Yeah. Hope we don't roll a 7. That'd be embarrassing.
Why? What's wrong with
I
7?
don't know. I just picked an age.
Okay. 7-year-olds, watch out.
Yeah.
We're coming for you.
Crazy
I was
stuff
in
happening
first
when you're
grade.
7.
And I was with Mrs. Kratz's class.
Shout out.
This is Kratz.
Hope she's doing well.
Oh my god, I
don't know
forgot
if
about
she's
her.
alive, but
Hope she's doing well
Wasn't her
regardless.
hu- I'll get to that if we roll 7. I was
Yeah.
gonna say something. That was crazy.
Save it. Yep.
Okay. Who's rolling first? Ashley had a random number generator up.
I just put 1 through 26.
Yeah, that's fine.
Or no, or we could do like the year, like 1997 to 2004.
Well, no, I think we all.
That's not enough years.
For you,
1997 to 2004.
that's how long I've been alive.
2004?
Not yeah.
I said
It's been a
that's
2024.
7 years.
I meant 2024.
Sorry, I totally peeked the mic on that one, but I was like,
okay.
Ashley,
I
are
was
you a
like,
ghost?
Hey,
Rachel,
friend?
I am bad at saying numbers, so in my brain, I thought I said 2024, and I in my mouth hole said 2004, which is a common occurrence. I'll say like I want to do something on Thursday, but then I'll say Tuesday, or like I'm getting ready to do something later in August, and I'll say September. Like it's just stupid. My mouth just betrays my brain.
Okay, so roll your number.
There's a disconnect
Sometimes
there.
there's a lot of distance between the thought and the action.
It is there, and it's really apparent in my brain. Like for the normal person, it's okay if you have a slip up now and then. It's a common occurrence for me.
Go ahead and roll your number.
1997 to 2024.
You gotta do math.
Well, you just put the numbers in.
2021, 3 years ago.
Damn.
I was 23.
I was also 23.
I
I was gonna say I was 24.
I
but
was
that's
in
not
the
true.
middle. I was in the middle of student teaching, and then finished in May, and then immediately got a job teaching. And let me tell you,
That's how it goes.
not a good way to end the year.
Yeah.
Because then I
2021?
immediately quit it.
I was middle of grad program.
Mm-hmm.
I was in Indiana.
That wasn't your first year, was it? That was your second year?
That'd be your second year, yeah.
I started in
Yeah.
August 2020. So yeah, it was like
Yeah,
tail
'cause I
end of
was,
first year, beginning of second.
I was a year ahead.
Correct. And I think you graduated.
Yeah, because I had just moved. Well, depending on the part of the year. At the
Yeah.
end of the year, I was finishing grad school. Or at the beginning of the year, I was finishing
we're
grad
not
school.
including the years in which you were born and stuff.
Yeah, right.
What year were you born? I'm 93?
No.
94?
No.
Fuck, I'm so bad.
No, okay, I can math this out. So we were bleeping this out because doxing. We were
We
97.
already said how old we are.
I know, but there's a range.
but if the year's 2021 and you were 23 years old, which you just said, they know how old. They
yeah,
know
but
what
they
year you
know-
were born.
At least we're not putting our address. Anyways,
We're certainly
what year
not.
was Brandon
Just let me
alive?
do it. Okay, let me reverse math.
Yeah, do it.
What
Okay.
year were you born,
Reverse
Brandon?
addition.
Brandon is 32. 33. 33. Right?
Yeah.
I want you to reverse math.
You're 33, right?
Yes,
Are you
he's
confident?
33. I'm confident
I'm
he's
pretty sure
33.
you're 30.
Okay.
Although in my brain,
How
you
old
are
was Jesus when he died?
Fuck up.
I'm about to outlive Jesus, y'all.
That's crazy.
Well,
But in my brain, I will say, in my brain, you're always 32.
thank you. I'd rather be 23, but
No, in my brain, you're always 30. I
That's
can't
good,
go
too.
over that.
That's the one thing. We have a bunch of older friends. And
we met when I was 30.
yeah.
So,
well,
You just stay the year
yeah.
you were.
I turned 30 that year.
Yeah.
we just have a bunch of older friends, and that's always going to be there, and that's fine. And I'm not upset about that. But sometimes I'm like, I am younger.
We have some similarly aged friends and some younger friends, but
Most of my younger friends are not here.
yeah, well, no, none of them are here. Well,
None of them are here.
none of them are here.
Yeah. So I'm just saying sometimes
Yeah.
it's hard being a
Here,
26-year-old
for sure, yeah.
in this world.
Trust me, I'm very old.
No, you're not.
No!
Here.
Shut up.
That's not
Comparatively.
true.
Stop calling yourself old. It's untrue.
Well, I don't mean it like that. I just mean I'm in the age group. I am the oldest.
I know, but you always used to make the joke of you're old.
Yeah,
I
that's
did-
because I just turned 30 and I was feeling it.
Well, also,
I
Anyway,
understand.
reverse math.
but also, you're not allowed to do it because it makes me feel guilty. And,
For-
and,
for
and
being
there's
young.
nothing to
For
feel
being-
guilty. And there's
for having
nothing.
youth.
And there's nothing to feel guilty about.
No.
I didn't make the choice to be born.
Listen,
None of us did.
I love being in my 30s.
I love that.
It's infinitely
And I
better than my
think it's-
20s.
I think it's a more
I'm really
exciting
excited
time.
for my 30s.
Yeah.
I'm excited
Well,
for
you guys
all
are
of it.
also on a much better track than I was, so
Okay, anyway.
That's
So the reverse
relative.
math. You are
we
33.
don't talk about it.
That's
We're
subjective.
26.
Uh-huh.
That means that.
97 or 98.
Shush. I'm reverse mathing.
Uh-huh.
So that means there's 7, 8, 9, 10.
Well, this
One,
is
two,
not
three.
reverse math.
Right? There's 7 years.
Allegedly.
That's
Yeah.
how math works.
Mhm.
7 years difference. So if
26
we were
plus 7 is
1997,
33.
you were born in 1990 or 1980
91.
or 91,
Mm-hmm.
1990.
and you were. I'm not going to say the month.
Yeah, that's fine.
Is that right? Correct?
Yeah.
One of
Although
the two?
we have talked about our star signs, so.
They have a range. It's fine.
If you're going to do that much research to dox us, good for
Look,
you.
Let's be friends.
You looking
Come
at
hang out.
you looking
No.
at me when I said 1993 as if I'm fucking crazy was mean. I was saying that you were young.
To be fair, I wouldn't
no
immediately know
concept
the
of
year you
time.
guys were born. I could figure it out, but I wouldn't
But it's
immediately be like,
also
oh yeah, it was
hard
this
for
year.
us. It's also hard for us because, like, depending on who you look at or depending on the friend, a lot of our friends are in the next year.
Mm-hmm. No,
I
my
also
age
have
is very
no
easy to
concept
calculate
of
because I was born
time.
in a 0 end year. So
Yeah.
That too. I also have no concept of time, so I just don't care.
it's a big soup.
Okay.
It's an
So
illusion.
put 1990
1990
to 1992.
2024. I'll put 2004 just for lulz.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
2024.
Only be 14
We'll
years.
just talk about if it's like in the 90 to 96, then we'll just talk about the cellular birth.
Yeah, you were cellularly alive.
Yeah, we talked about this last
Yeah,
time.
you had cell service.
Yeah, I was texting.
Anyways,
you.
Free G
is there
back then.
anything about 2021 that we still want to talk about?
Yes.
I had moved to California
Yes. You had moved to California.
halfway through the year.
Oh my god.
Yep.
I remember talking to you about that.
I finished grad school and I needed a job because I didn't want to go teach anymore.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I got a job
It was
in
nice
California.
because then we were like kind of in the same time zone.
We
for
were,
a little bit.
yeah.
I was in Indiana hating my life. Although in the summer of 2021 I was in Colorado.
Yes, that was fun.
That was very fun.
That was very fun.
I really liked getting drunk with Dad in
Oh
Golden.
my god. Did we ever tell you about that?
Yes.
Oh, it was so fun.
Yeah. That was an interesting time though, because I remember you kind of like disappeared at that point because you were working, like you were doing stuff in Colorado.
It was not fun work.
Yeah,
Like, I didn't know if I was doing it right.
for sure.
'Cause
Well, it was
it-
different than what you'd done.
Well, because I work in education. We all work in education. But at the time, I was doing an internship at a college where, like, it was like a housing internship.
Mhm.
Like, a lot of people will get a housing internship because they can, like, live in the institution. And, like, it is also an incredibly helpful way to determine if housing is right for you. It is
To
not
do it,
for me.
yeah.
It is not for me for multiple reasons. I could do it.
Yeah.
I could not do it long term.
I applied to a job to do it once. Did an
It's
interview,
not
but-
particular. In my
It's
opinion,
not a bad gig.
It's not a bad gig, and the institution that I was at was a really nice one. If in a perfect world, I would have loved to like be there. But it was
Yeah, that
small.
was a nice little
It
college.
was a nice
town.
little college. It was very walkable.
Mhm.
It was like, it was just outside of Denver. It was like everything that I was looking for an institution, but it just didn't have the things that I needed.
That position.
Yeah, it didn't have a position that I needed or like wanted. Cause like I was working in housing, but I wasn't working like to be a resident assistant or
Yeah.
like a house, a dorm person.
Yeah.
I forget what they're called because
Uh,
my institution
director
calls them.
or something like that.
Yes, a housing director
Yeah.
or assistant director of X, Y, and Z.
Mm-hmm.
I got to know some of them. They were very incredibly sweet.
Yeah.
Instead I was housing operations,
Mhm.
which is a whole different
Yeah.
thing. And like summertime for housing operations, they're flipping,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
basically it was like working for the people who flip houses.
And you're like, what?
And like I didn't really have to do
You had
much.
a couple residents. You didn't have too many.
No, I didn't even manage the residents.
Oh.
That's the thing. People were living in the dorms, but like my whole job was to be like, okay, I have 2 workers for the entire campus. And their job is to go and like look at every single room in every single building
Mm-hmm.
and write down the basic condition of the room.
Yep.
And then
I remember that.
and
yeah.
then they would have to like like they were these two giant guys. And they were like super sweet, very soft spoken, and just like, yep, what do you need me to do? And it was a lot of manual labor for them. I made a spreadsheet.
Yeah, you have
and
to.
I was like, tell me the condition, like write down the condition. If it's fine, don't tell me anything, and we're just gonna assume it's fine. But if there's something wrong, you tell me what's wrong.
Yep.
And then like after they did all of the assessment, they would then have to go fix it. So like they would like if there was a fridge in there and it wasn't supposed to be in there, or if there was something wrong with the desk,
If
or
the
something
light bulb doesn't work.
yeah, but it was a lot of like furniture too, and they had a lot of back stock in like random buildings.
So they have to go.
So they would have
surplus.
to cart like entire bed frames, like from one end of campus to the other in the dead of summer, like overheating.
Do they have any equipment?
I mean, they had like dollies and stuff like that, but it was just two guys.
You're still walking across campus.
Yeah, you're still
carrying a
walking
chair
across
or
campus
whatever,
and doing all that. And I was just doing the assessment and just trying to get it to my supervisor, who's the housing operations guy. And they had like brand new apartments that had just been built, and like there was stuff with that. And the thing was that they needed an intern because the guy was becoming a new parent to twins.
Whoa.
Oh,
And
God.
on top of the housing operation stuff, I also was having to manage all of the move-in logistics. And like I couldn't be there for move-in because move-in was during the first days of classes for me.
When
So
you were
I
back
was-
at grad school.
When I was back at my actual like school. And so I had to be like, so I can do this all remotely.
Yeah, like here's the plan.
And
but-
like and you could text me, and I like would love. So like a lot of it was like making graphics.
Yeah.
Like there was a couple days where I was just printing like hundreds of signs.
Did you drive to Colorado?
Sure did.
Yeah.
I drove on the way there. It was a 2-day trip. I did it in 2 days, so it was like 8 hours and 8 hours. And on the way back, it was a 16-hour drive.
Yep.
I did not stop. Did not pass go. I started at like 6 a.m. I got home at like 11 p.m.
I did that once.
It
When I
sure
was
was an experience.
Moving to LA, I went. Me and my friend Dave. Shout out Dave. Hey,
Shout out Dave.
Went and he rode with me because he's a saint of a human being, and we made a little trip out of it because we had extra time, and
Yeah,
we drove.
I
Ended up
remember
going down
you
to
mentioned
Arkansas for a bit because there were some people he knew there, and then the next day we got up and drove from Arkansas to Colorado,
Yeah.
and it was like I think from there, even though it's geographically not too different, it ended up being like a 13 or 14 hour day.
Did you guys swap?
A little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but Dave has worse vision, and so at a certain point it just wasn't recommended that he drive, and so he would
Oh my God, Dave is me.
yeah
I went and got my eyes checked yesterday.
he so I would drive massive chunks, and then he would take over for a couple of hours and be like, are you okay with switching? I'm like, yeah, I just needed a break and then
Yeah.
be good to go,
Yeah, I didn't take any breaks.
because I like driving, we like driving,
Yeah.
we all like driving.
But like
um,
in particular, if we ever go on a road trip, I don't care how long it is.
yeah, I'm the same way.
I'm like, I'm hanging. I mean, obviously I care, like, because it would be nice to like sleep in a hotel.
Yeah.
But like if it's like 16 hours, sure.
Yeah. If I'm
We'll figure it out.
alone, I don't like to drive more than like 6 or so hours.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I can't.
I mostly did it because I was like, I don't have to pay for a hotel.
Exactly.
I'll just do it.
Yeah, that was the big
My
thing.
ass hurt
For me,
really bad.
Yeah.
I'll maybe do 12 hours. 8
Yeah.
hours is kind of like the pocket where I just get tired.
And then
But I can kind of do 12 if I
And
have
force it out if you have to.
the
I
other
can
issue
force
that
it.
I encountered that I will describe before I have to go to the bathroom is I also, at the tail end in the last hour, I accidentally did not take the right exit, and then I was in the backwoods of Indiana at 10 p.m.
That'll do it.
and it added on an extra hour.
Yeah.
That
of,
sucks ass.
Like, I was like, I also was like, if I crash, no one will know.
That's Indiana.
I was like, no one will know,
Yeah.
except for maybe my roommate who I texted and was kind of an asshole. Because I was like, could you just help me with like a couple of things? I'm not gonna like
Yeah.
and totally unload my car because like it was like filled to the brim with shit.
Yeah, because you brought out all your
I
stuff.
brought my computer. I brought
Yeah.
everything.
When you were in like a high crime area, but also they were like
Yeah,
vandalism and car break-ins and stuff.
right.
regardless,
My
'cause
car
city.
got like smashed. The window got smashed like a couple times. Just because we were across from a bar and it's like high frequency foot
Yeah.
traffic, and you know.
stuff happens.
But like, they were like, maybe they ended up helping, but it was just kind of like, dude,
I just need
Just
you to
say yes
print
or
two
no.
Yeah,
things.
I just need one thing
yeah.
when I get back,
And
please.
it's also like, it's no skin off your back to help
Yeah.
me. For
Well, and
like
if the
2
answer is
seconds.
no, also you could like
Then I
text
could
other
plan.
people, or you could plan
Right,
for
I could
it,
plan for
or
it. Yeah. Okay. I do desperately have to go to the bathroom,
Okay.
but I needed to
Please
impart
go
that.
pee piss.
no worries.
But yeah, grad school was awful, but that was a little fun moment, and I wish I explored Colorado more.
Well,
Yeah, I wanted to go to Red Rocks.
Me too.
I did.
It's so
It's
fun.
fun. I went to the.
I had a friend that I used to talk to a little bit more, online, that lived in Colorado. They still do. They would go to Red Rocks every so often.
Yeah.
They're like, come visit Colorado, it'd be fun. We can just go do things, and I never did.
The reason that we stopped there is because we had a friend there. One of our
Yeah.
college buddies and his girlfriend lived there. They had a house and everything. They both worked remotely and stuff. It was really cool. But we got there and he took us on a whole little tour of his
How
area.
fun. Yeah,
and then we
Denver's a
went
good city. I like it.
hiking and stuff. And we went to the Red Rocks and all that fun stuff. It was cool. It was fun. Yeah, I mean, it was easy. It was quick, such a quick trip, but like,
Yeah.
didn't need much.
Went and saw the gorge near Denver.
I didn't see the gorge. but-
Gorge National Park or something.
Gorge.
We went through a train. It was really cool.
Oh, that's
we had
cool.
drinks.
That part was nice because especially driving out of Colorado, we like the route took us up because we were going to San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
So we went up out of Colorado, and so there's like big old foresty areas up there and
Mhm.
cool stuff. It's just
Yeah.
very different.
Lots of
for
cool
me.
stuff in Colorado.
Yeah.
That's where they train too for Olympics.
Mm-hmm. Well, especially coming from Indiana, where there's like flat
Nothing,
nothingness,
yeah.
and then going even through like Missouri and then Kansas and stuff
Like
like that.
a mountain. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, even when we down to Arkansas, it was the same way. Like there's more obviously down there, but
Mhm.
the route was pretty flat and stuff. So like getting to that point where it was like, oh damn, like the mountains and actual
The
stuff was
Rockies are
cool.
wild. I think
Yeah.
it's so cool. My favorite thing though is that we had a family member from Brazil come visit us in Arizona, and they're like, "Oh my god, you call these mountains? These are just hills." I'm like,
okay.
okay, we get it. You're from Brazil. You have more mountainous terrain, but
Yeah.
we like our desert. It's
Yeah.
fun.
This is still our place.
Yeah,
Still
it
our
was
fun
really
spot.
funny.
Yeah.
I got my eyes checked yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Still got 2 of them.
Mm-hmm. My retinas are healthy.
That's good.
There's a newfangled machine that I'd never seen before that they
Flasher.
yeah. They were like, lean in to the machine, but don't lean in too much or put too much pressure, because then it'll turn red and then that's bad. But if it's blue, then there's not enough pressure. But if it's green, stay there, and then it'll flash.
Like,
and I
okay.
went, okay. And I leaned in, and it was red all the time. Then I leaned back, and it was blue all the time. And then it was blue, and then it flashed green like every once in a while. And I'm like, what is the good pressure here? I don't know how that works. And
Can't
so
figure it out.
they just scanned my left eye a couple times because it just was hard.
Yeah.
But my God, it's like a flashbang to the eye. It's just like, oh. But then it was fine.
Do they still do the puff of air thing?
Yeah. And then you look at the red balloon or whatever, the hot air balloon.
I believe you.
Brandon and I have to go get our eyes checked.
It's to like see how your eye focuses and like measure
You've
your
never
eye.
done a balloon?
I may have.
Did
The
you
last
do
time I
the
went to the eye doctor,
sailboat?
I went to the eye doctor when I was 18 years old.
Bestie,
Oh, that's right.
I've never had vision issues. I've never had a reason to
Brandon,
go,
it's
and
imp-
so it's never gone.
I need you to go to the eye doctor like
We're working on
at
it.
least once a year.
Well, now that
It's
I
like
have,
the dentist.
now that my
Now that you have vision,
vision, my health insurance has a singular vision attachment to it.
that I mean,
So,
still,
Yeah, it's not full on vision insurance, but
but at least it'll help with the yearly visit.
if I needed vision insurance, I could get it.
Like-
Like it's offered. My work does offer
Yeah,
it.
it's
But
good. But yeah, my retinas look good. We found out recently that our mother has macular degeneration, which is a retinal disease, which is not great, and it's
oh, that
genetic.
thing. I remember that from
Yeah,
movies.
you put your face in a little thing, and then
Mhm.
it has this little image, and it like it's blurry and not blurry and blurry and not blurry, and then it's
Very cool.
testing your eye focus. There's
Yeah.
a more technical term for that, but yeah.
I think that's exactly what they call it.
But yeah, they scanned my retinas, and then the doctor showed me, and like, it's like, you see these 2 little dots? Those are your retinas. They look good, and I'm like, fantastic. Also, no like glaucoma or anything.
What
That's
was
good.
the thing that was the macular degeneration? The macula?
Yeah, it's your retina, and it's like this big ass circle with a little dot in it, And if it's clear, which it was, then
you're good.
your maculas look good.
Otherwise, you'd have like little spots and scratches on it.
Or like they like are smaller
Mm-hmm.
and like cloudy dots in the middle. That's when it's bad. Or like a different color than what you expect.
Yeah.
It's not good.
We gotta check what our insurance covers.
And my
'Cause
optic nerves look
Ashley
good.
and I swear by Target Optical. Target Optical
Yeah, I just have to-
unfortunately,
accepts most insurances.
Yeah.
except for the fact that they accept my insurance, but they're out of network for me.
Which sucks.
And I want to be
That's
in
so
network.
Wild to me.
I just sent them a PDF and said, take care of it. And they said, okay.
Yeah.
And then my copay was really cheap.
Copay.
I just can't tell what I pay in
Right.
and out of network. And like, because it didn't have that on the benefit
Yeah,
sheet.
which is wild because it should.
I don't
but-
know. It was weird.
It's fine.
But yeah.
But yeah, the rest of 2021.
But I was going to
Was fine.
say, for driving, I got multiple glasses, but I got lens inserts for night driving. Because I talked to the eye doctor about, was like, yeah, I feel like my vision has just deteriorated. Like, I need a new prescription because it's been like 2 years since I've been to the eye doctor, if not more. And she's like, yeah, that would make sense just based on like the assessment that we did. Your prescription definitely needs to be upped. I was like a negative 3.75 on both eyes, and then I have an astigmatism on my right, but now I'm up to a 4.25, which big jump. Anyways, now I get some nighttime driving. And they're like, you're gonna be able to see more, which is great.
What's legally blind?
No clue.
I think
gonna look that
it's
up.
like below a 6.
This is a scale that I have heard of and never interacted with.
Legal blindness is defined as 2200 vision. 14.
Like 20/200.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't tell. I don't understand. We'll see.
If only we were eye doctors.
If only we were an eye doctor. I just don't understand like the negative numbers and then like 2020 versus 2200.
Well,
Me neither.
the higher the negative number, because I was looking on Zenny Optical. Shout out Zenny Optical for getting my glasses.
the worse your
um,
eyes are.
The worse your eyes are, and the prescriptions that you could do have like specific tints. And so like I wanted blue light blocking, and so they prescribed like a specific type of blue blocking based on my prescription, and it was like the middle of the road one from like to like -4 to like -5 or something. But if it's 6 or higher, then you have to like get the really high power lens tints, and it's a little bit more expensive.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay.
Makes sense.
your prescription can be a lot worse. But
But yeah. Also, 2021 is the year the last time I went to the eye doctor.
also, fun facts: if you
I know
ever,
that.
if
I
you-
went to the eye doctor once during grad school, and I was like, cool.
also
Accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
preventative measures. The biggest thing is just protecting yourself from UV light. So wear your sunglasses, folks. It's important.
And I do
That's it.
sometimes.
I'm gonna stop ranting about the eye doctor.
Let's do another age.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm getting.
We're getting messages.
Oh shit. Where's
Somebody
the
woke up. I don't know what's happening.
2013?
What the fuck was that year?
We started sophomore year of high school.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
In the
fuck.
middle
Me
of
too.
2013. We finished our freshman year.
What was I doing sophomore
May.
year of high school? Reading Beowulf.
Suffering.
I fucking hated that book.
Oh my god,
didn't
I
have to
did
read it.
not enjoy Beowulf.
I didn't like sophomore English at all. I genuinely
There was only
liked-
one book I
English was okay, but it wasn't like English was one of the ones where we had actual APs and levels of it. Like we had Lang and Lit. They were separate, obviously, but
Yeah.
but sophomore English was still just like honors English, and so it was still
Same,
pretty
yeah.
open, and so it was pretty. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I jumped from regular English
to
to
honors.
AP, not honors classes.
nice.
Same thing with like honors biology and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, that
Which was a big jump for me specifically because I would had Because
I
of
don't
band, I was put on the regular track because it couldn't fit on my schedule to be put in honors classes, and I had pushed to be in honors classes because it was super easy for me to be
Yeah.
in regular classes, and I felt to a degree I wasn't really being challenged. I got 101% in my
Certainly.
regular English class both semesters in
Mhm.
freshman year. I was like, this is so fucking easy.
Yeah.
Please put me in somewhere
Like,
else.
we're doing nothing.
And then I got a B in honors English sophomore
Yeah.
year.
Sophomore year English was boring as fuck.
The only book that I enjoyed in sophomore year was A Thousand Splendid Suns.
Oh yeah, that was
It was
a good book.
We read Julius Caesar
Nice.
I
and some other book that I cannot remember the name of.
liked Julius Caesar.
I can remember the premise.
Well, but you weren't
But-
a sophomore.
No, but I was just connecting with that.
No.
I was about to finish college
Fuck.
for the first time.
Not the second time.
Not
At
the
Ball
second time.
State?
Or the third. At Ball State.
With
Which
your
is in
film
the
degree?
state.
Yeah.
Did you have
Mhm.
any
Very
major
cool.
projects that you worked on?
That year would have been the year I did my capstone.
Very
What
cool.
was your capstone?
So my major was in digital media production. Essentially, it wasn't called that, but that's what it was. And I did a focus in audio production. And so my capstone for me, there were two choices. You could either, basically, they were given blank like files for a movie scene, and you had to basically recreate the
I
entire
remember you
sound
mentioning
for it.
this. Yeah.
So there was a scene from like one of the Batman movies, and you had to basically recreate everything from it. Or you could do what I did, and you could set up a studio session for a band and record an EP with them.
That's so
fun.
fun.
Yep. So I found a band, and I set up a studio recording session with them for a day, and set up all the equipment, ran all the things, and then sat at the cool little table and did the little thing, and then recorded all of that and helped them out, ordered food, fed everybody, and then tore it down when they left, and then sat in a smaller room for a couple of days and mixed it.
Yeah.
All that
Very
stuff.
cool.
So yeah, I had like a
How
cool little
fun.
6-song EP for this band we put out, and it went well.
Ugh.
I only had a
awesome.
couple days to do it because I had a lot of issues getting people to like commit.
Oh,
stuff,
yeah, no,
but-
that's really hard.
Because I was trying to find I wanted to find like local people that I knew, and then that just wasn't working out. And so finally I was like, I need help. And it was to a point where my professor was like, listen, if they don't commit, you'll still pass the class, but next semester you'll just need to finish this project. And I was like, that's fine. Whatever works
Yeah,
out, I'll be
that's
okay.
fine. Whatever.
So, but it ended up working out that I finished it that semester and,
Yay,
and got
that's
it all
good.
done. But yeah,
I
it was
remember
good.
doing some recording or like planning to do some recording stuff during college because my acapella group really wanted to do. Well, okay. I remember my acapella group president my first year was like, "Oh, it'd be really fun to record an album or an EP or like just start some of our songs."
Yeah.
But none of our group had the like resources to do that. But other people in other groups at our college did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they
certainly.
had done it multiple years. And it was like multiple years of me just being like, we could do it. Like, let's make it happen. And like, let's make it happen on top of the other projects that we're doing. And like, people just weren't gunning for that. So
Yeah.
what I had done senior year is I like bought like a single audio interface and like a microphone that like, I was like, our group can use this. This is my donation to the group.
Mhm.
And apparently, when I graduated, I'm still friends with a few people that were younger than me. Shout out to Melanie. Melanie, I gave it to her, and she was music director for a long time. And I asked her about it one day when she had come visit. I think it was in Indiana, because she came to visit for a concert and was like, "I'll hang out with Rachel." And I was like, "Oh yeah, how did the recording stuff?" Because they did end up recording. I like, was that stuff helpful? And she's like, "No, actually, our house got broken into and people stole all of our shit,
Incredible.
including the stuff for the acapella."
Oh my
group."
god, that
But
sucks.
she was in a house full of acapella people, and one of
So-
them, I follow on Instagram and like
They hooked
mixes
it up.
all the time now.
Very cool.
And like she makes arrangements and all
Yeah.
kinds of creative stuff. I
It's
always
very
wanted
fun.
to do that.
It's fun. I had to do an arrangement for my music degree. I had to make many arrangements for many different types of groups. But I originally had a piano project where like it was like a multi-piano arrangement of Toxic by Britney Spears, and I'd shown Rachel that I was working on it, and I was like, oh cool, like can you listen to this and see if it makes sense? And Rachel was like, can you make this a cappella? And so I did.
Yeah,
Like,
one of
yeah.
our better songs in my opinion.
It was good.
It's a good song.
It's a good song and it was a good arrangement.
Yeah. It was a fun project to make that a vocal project because that was not my emphasis.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of got to like ask a lot of questions that I normally don't get to ask of like, what's the vocal range of an alto?
Yeah.
And stuff like that, which was kind of cool. Kind of exercise my brain and see like the limitations of voice and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun.
Did you have existential dread in sophomore year of high school? Were
Why
you at
do
the
you
point?
ask?
Were you at the point where you were like, I only have a couple years of high school left. Holy crap!
No,
No. That
don't
didn't start
think I did
happening until
either.
junior year at
Yeah.
least.
no, I really just wanted to become a like TA basically for English,
Yeah.
which happened junior year.
Nice.
And what would happen? Well, I also tried out for drum major that year,
There you go.
which was really stressful.
Yeah.
Because I did not feel confident at all. And I became assistant drum major.
Okay.
Because they needed, well, they really only needed one, but they did two because that was kind of the tradition. And our band kind of got smaller just based on like enrollment and people like, but two was good. And I was drum major with my good friend at the time, Lauren. She's a fantastic person. She played trumpet and was in softball. She was so involved with like everything, and she was a great fit for that in like a leadership position. But then it was also me, and I was in the middle of also learning flugelhorn, which was a lot. Also, flugelhorn's very fun to play, although it's very outdated for marching bands. And then I switched to mellophone after that, like junior year, basically, which was super fun. But I was like, I'm gonna learn multiple different instruments to make myself versatile, and some of that made it feel like I was just a jack of all trades but master of none, which kind of sucked. But like that was just imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the back end of sophomore year at that point, getting into like 2014.
Yeah.
It was stressful, and a lot of people were going for drum major, and I was up against some really good competition. A really good friend of mine that was in the mellophone section and was actually my section leader was this guy named Michael, who everyone said I had a crush on, and that he and I should have gotten together.
Even
but
our mom.
Even our mom.
Even though it was like, Mom, no. He's
He
just a
ended up
friend.
going to MIT, and I probably should have dated him because then he probably would be making a lot more money, but whatever. Michael, I hope you're doing well if you're watching this.
Hope you made money.
He and I would have a running joke in which he would print out the first page of Finnegan's Wake and just hide it in my locker, in my backpack, in my instrument case, and send it to me in a Facebook message. All of the things. It was torture, but it was a fun inside joke.
But
of
at the time, it was fine.
Yeah.
Didn't care back then.
Isn't that like a nonsense page?
It's a nonsense book. It doesn't make sense. But yeah.
Unless you're crazy. I was crazy once.
But I know the first word is river run, and I'm like,
River Run.
river run. So yeah. And he would write short stories and like share them to me. He was a pretty good writer.
Yeah,
He did like some horror writing, which was interesting. And I was really into horror movies because Paranormal Activity would be like released in like the previous years. So I was like, I'd really like watching the Paranormal Activities for just fun because they're stupid. And I figured I'd probably try out some more horror films. And that's where I kind of got my like niche into like witchy, cool, weird horror stuff. And not as much now, but like I was really into it sophomore year, I think.
Yeah.
I was in the middle of being in the intermediate choir, Vocal Essence.
Whoa.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And you were really excited about getting into jazz.
I think that was that. How
It
many
was
years did I
junior
try?
year.
Jazz. Yeah. Okay. Because there were like 3 levels of choirs. I had done beginning choir, and then our choir. And it was a new choir teacher that year.
Mm-hmm.
Our old choir teacher who had been there for years was like, "I'm retiring."
We also had a new band director sophomore year, and it
Yeah.
caused
Chaos.
chaos in the band class. Cause like I personally had a crush on this guy that was a senior at the time, and was like about to graduate and go to the college that I eventually went to. But he hated the band teacher, and like all of the graduating seniors that year hated him too. And I didn't really care because it was just a sophomore, and I was like, I'm gonna have to deal with this guy regardless. I'm just here. But it was like a big conflict within the band of like half of the band hating him and half of the band either like being indifferent or like perfectly fine with him. It was really weird.
But yeah, the old
New choir teacher too.
Old choir teacher freshman year, she was fine, but she was very like my way or the highway.
Mm-hmm.
But like that taught us like good discipline and stuff like that. It was beginning choir, so some people were just there. But the people who wanted to be there had a good time.
Mm-hmm.
And then she said she was retiring, and then we got a new, and she introduced her very early on. Like it was like, I think I was still a freshman when I first met Miss Zollers, like dollars with a Z.
So much cooler.
So much cooler.
Yeah.
She's such a sweetie. I think she's
great.
retired now.
She certainly is.
But she was just like the best. She was like the perfect blend between like nice choir teacher and what our old choir teacher was. Before that. And I think she was there for like auditions for the next, I don't know if she was there, but she, you know, we had our auditions for the next thing, and I could have gone two ways, gone to the intermediate one or the advanced one. And I very easily could have gone to the advanced one. I think in a perfect world, I would have gone there first. But, or if I could go back in time, I would have done that. But I did the intermediate because the intermediate did more pop.
Yeah.
And
that was your preference.
And they got to wear cooler dresses.
True.
Which is a big deal.
Big deal.
At the time, especially.
And it was all female.
Oh, that's fun.
It was all women.
Yeah.
And it was all great. It was fantastic. Whereas the upper one was SATB. Yeah. A bunch of my friends went to SATB. There were a few who were in the intermediate because it was like 14 people. And then it was like 30 plus.
Yeah, and
in the big one. But it was the lead up to like doing competitive choir stuff, which was really fun. Like junior year was the year that we went to the festivals, and I was in jazz choir, which it was like crazy because like all the people who were in jazz choir were in the upper echelon one, and there was like a couple of people from the intermediate who jumped. And I was one of them. I was like, yes.
Hello, world.
We sang some really fun stuff. We did jazz. We did madrigal, which is like super weird and funky, but like very fun. And we went to like junior year was the most fun for choir because we went to like the Jazz Mad festival.
Jazz Mad, yeah.
But also on top of that, we went to we went on like a trip to San Francisco.
Yeah. That was junior year.
That was junior year. Yes. Because the band was also there.
Yeah. And I didn't go because it was too expensive.
And you didn't go. But I went, and it was fantastic, and I got to eat Chinese food, and that's when I learned how to use chopsticks. Because the band teacher taught me.
There you go.
We were all at a table.
Shout out Mr. Suahiro. You rock.
Yeah.
Miss you. Hope you're doing well.
Thanks for teaching me how to use chopsticks. I love them.
And you still do it to this day.
He's Hawaiian, so
yeah, he's Hawaiian, and
fun.
He was like, we were at like a real Chinese restaurant with like the whole group, and he was at our table with a few choir kids and some other folks, and we were like picking up for it. He was like, "Really, you guys don't know how to use chopsticks?" And I was like, "I've tried. I just like don't know how to do it very well without like the guard thing." And he's like, "Here's how you do it," and I was like, "Oh." And he's like, "If you can pick up a grain of rice, you can pick up anything."
Yeah.
So I did it. And then I started. It was not good at first, but I've gotten much better now.
Yeah. I was wanting to go on that band trip, but it was like only so many people could go, and it was really expensive. So we let Rachel go because I had went on the freshman Disney trip myself.
That's right.
It was really fun. There were some parts of it were funky.
There's always parts of it that weren't fun.
Yeah.
But I remember going on that trip because that's also the trip where we competed. And we did really good.
Yeah.
Like, we competed. Is San Francisco where SeaWorld is? Or is it San Diego?
San Diego.
That's San Diego.
Okay, so in San Francisco, we went to the Chinese food place.
You toured a college.
That was in senior year. But in San Diego, we toured a college and we sang in this like natural amphitheater, and that was really cool. And we competed at SeaWorld.
That's
like
right,
the
yes.
competition results came out at SeaWorld. So we didn't actually compete at SeaWorld. We competed at like a high school and then all of the other
Was next to it. Yeah.
Yeah. And we did good.
You basically saved the whales, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. With
Yeah.
our songs.
Yeah, you are the reason that
You
they
sang with
shut
the
down
whales
SeaWorld.
and they freed them because
Yeah.
of their beautiful song.
They said nothing better will ever happen here, and actually, what's happening here kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
So like, let's end on a good note.
Yeah.
It's a music pun.
Yeah. But yeah, I just remember that junior year. And then
2013.
sophomore-
What a wild year.
Sophomore year.
Yeah, I was in existential
bu-
dread mode, so
I'm so
Sophomore
sorry.
year was
Yeah.
pretty fucking
it all worked out. but
boring in comparison.
Hey, you want to know what the next year is?
2014.
2004.
What
Oh.
was in 2004?
We were.
I
I was gonna
say.
sit. No, we were not. We were what
2004 is-
7?
Oh my
2004
God.
2004 is this year.
Are we set? Were we 7?
We were 6 or 7.
What grade is that? First?
Kindergarten into first.
6 or 7. That's first into second.
Okay. All I needed to know.
I was 6 years old in kindergarten. What are you talking about?
I was 5.
Okay. Well, maybe we were just advanced.
Just saying. I
Okay,
turned 7
Age
years
of
old in second grade.
kindergarten. 4 to 6 years old. Yeah, we were 6.
Mhm. It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we were first grade
We were
in 2004.
We'd be getting into first grade.
The reason I want to bring this up, you mentioned Mrs. Krotz.
Yeah, Miss Crotch.
Okay, Mrs. Krotz was our first grade teacher. It was
Also,
at a private
like a
Christian-
personal family friend.
personal family friend.
family friend because she was friends with our mom.
And
Yeah.
I especially remember Mrs. Krotz beyond first grade for a couple of reasons. But in first grade, she was super sweet. She had this short blonde hair. Did she wear a lot of makeup?
She wore makeup.
She was Mrs. Hendricks.
You're talking about Miss Hendricks.
Miss Hendricks was Barbie girl doll makeup all day, every day.
Material.
Pink.
No, it was the blue eyeshadow with the
It was
pink
Yes,
lipstick.
I remember the pink
Fashion.
lipstick and the pink blush. Sometimes she would do the pink eyeshadow too, but it was just dependent on the
She's
day.
ahead of her time.
That was Mrs. Hendricks, though. That was 4th grade.
It was not
Skipping
a
a
good
few
look
years.
for her.
But Mrs. Krotz, I remember Mrs. Krotz. She had eyeliner. She was just like this jovial, jolly, like she reminded
She was
me
great.
of like Mrs. Claus. She was great.
No, literally, that is such a great description of Mrs. Krotz. She was so great.
She was great, and she was a first grade teacher, and she had stamps. I remember she had stamps to grade our stuff.
Well, we sat at tables instead of desks because it was first grade, and we shared it with like 3 or 4 other people.
Yeah.
And I remember we would all during nap time sleep under our tables, and we would pass goldfish around. That was like the formative memory.
Yeah.
And some people would store it in their shoe, and we thought that was gross because it is. Don't put goldfish in your shoe.
I didn't take naps at that point.
We took naps.
Oh, it was a
Mhm.
big thing in first grade for us.
Wish that was me.
We took naps in kindergarten too. But then second grade, it was a real deal.
But
You're awake the entire day.
oh yeah, but Mrs. Krotz,
She was great.
I remember Mrs. Krotz. You know why? Because after first grade, there was a period of time in which we stayed at her house,
Oh yeah.
and we were like,
Our mom
Mrs.
went to the
Krotz.
hospital.
and we were like, Mrs. Krotz, where's your husband? You have a husband. He was in prison.
Damn.
What?
For what?
I don't remember that.
I
at
remember-
all.
Arson?
I remember asking mom, because I was like, doesn't she have a husband or something? We were young, and we were asking like curious questions.
Yeah, because
But
we're like,
she-
where's your husband?
Mrs.
You're
Krotz,
married.
if I remember correctly, her husband was in prison for like tax fraud, like very white collar crime. And she was waiting for her husband to come back, and she had a little chihuahua that she would go on walks with, and the chihuahua did the thing that some dogs do, where like fully do a handstand while they piss, and that's what I remember about Mrs. Krotz. She's the sweetest little lady, and her husband was or her partner. I don't know if they were married. Like partner, somebody she knew very closely, was in prison.
Did he ever come back?
I have no clue.
We
don't
were
even
in
know if
second
she's
grade
alive.
at that point. I'm pretty
I
sure.
mean, I don't know. How old was she when you were in second grade?
She was up there. She was like 40s, maybe 50s.
Yeah.
She's kind of, if she's alive, she's kind
She
of
could
old.
still be alive.
No, she could be still alive. She's just probably pretty old.
Yeah. That dog, though,
Dead.
rest in peace. Rest in peace to that handstand pissing dog.
It was
That's
just
so
the
sad.
funniest thing because we had never seen something like it
Yeah.
before. We were like, whoa.
I also remember.
Did you kind of want to try it?
Kinda.
Yeah.
I remember in 2004 we were also doing the election,
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
and
god.
our entire first grade voted for George
Jo-
W. Bush
Yep.
Oh my
because
god.
we had our own little election.
Yeah.
And Miss Crotch read the results, and we were all like, "Yes, George W. Bush." None of us knew who he
Right,
was
of
or
course.
gave a shit, but our parents told us vote for George W. Bush because everyone's Republican in Arizona, and it was really funny thinking about it.
You said, okay. And then you were right. And you were like, hell yeah.
Honestly, it just felt good that we voted for the winner.
Yeah, of course.
You know?
Yeah, it always does.
Yeah.
What were you doing in 2004?
I was in ending 7th grade, going into 8th grade.
Ooh, middle school.
Yep.
Vibes.
So doing stuff. I don't remember much of that.
What are your favorite memories of middle school? If
Most
any?
of the memories I have in middle school are just of like sports and stuff that I did.
That's fun. What kind
Um,
of sports were you into in 7th grade?
I played year round. I played basketball and baseball at that point.
Very cool.
So I would do that.
We love a good baseball pant in this
Baseball.
house.
Baseball during baseball season through the summer, and then basketball would pick up in the winter and play that through the winter, and then it'd be time for baseball again. I just kind of flop through that. Hang out with friends. I was at that point where I could start hanging out with people.
Yeah, I'm just
Not that I
being a
couldn't hang out when I
kid.
was younger, but you
Yeah.
know, it's like different when it's like groups of people that you're hanging out with and all
Yeah.
that.
hmm
So that was good. But yeah, it was middle school, so I kind of hated everything and myself and all that fun stuff, you know, as middle schoolers do.
Did you use Axe body spray?
I don't think I ever did. It
Good.
was very prevalent. Like it was like
Yeah.
because it was actually popular at that point. Like it wasn't like memed on or anything.
It was
Um,
popular when we were in middle school
yeah.
too, which is why I asked.
But I remember like it being a thing and like locker rooms would be everywhere. And I'm like, oh boy, oh Boise. But no, it was in general, I had a good time.
Very cool.
Hanging out with friends, cementing those friendships. Got a lot more into video games.
Did you get into Final Fantasy 14 at that point?
Well, the Final Fantasy 14 was not out at that point.
I have no concept of time,
Final Fantasy
Brandon.
14 didn't come out until I was in college.
I had no concept of time.
It was a couple years before I got into Final Fantasy 11. But at that point,
Okay.
I'd played Final Fantasy. I'd played some of the other ones at that point.
Very
but
cool.
that was kind of the big step up of like, oh yeah, I like these a lot more than just casually playing them like I did when I was younger.
Yeah.
Doing that, I was reading A Series of Unfortunate Events.
A good series. Rachel read
that
that
series.
in, I think, elementary school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I
because they
tried-
were coming out as I was in like 6th and 7th
Yeah,
grade.
we really liked him too.
Mhm.
I tried reading most of them. I only got until like halfway through, I think.
Yeah. It's weird thinking about middle school because I ended up teaching at that school for a while. So like
Yeah,
I can think about myself as a 13-year-old boy
but then also as an
walking through the
adult.
halls going to classes and like going into the class that I eventually taught in,
Wild.
which is weird. But then yeah, being a teacher in that space as well.
What was your favorite subject in middle school?
Oh, none of them really.
I mean, but if you had to pick,
What did I guess it'd just be more about teachers that I liked.
yeah, that's honestly the
Uh,
vibe on most subjects.
Mostly English,
Fair enough.
which isn't surprising. We didn't have like foreign language, or it probably would have been that. I was in band, but I didn't really care about it.
Fair enough.
Just because I was just
What'd
we
you
just
play?
drums.
That's
I'm a
right.
percussionist, yeah.
Mhm.
But that's why probably why I didn't like it as much because we mostly just like sat in the back and they just kind of ignored us.
Yeah, which
And I
is
was
the
like,
big
okay.
struggle when teaching band.
Mm-hmm.
How do you
'Cause
engage everyone? Because
We
so many percussionists are just left to go play poker.
yeah.
That's like literally like a common story of like I learned how to play poker or like I learned how to set fire to things because I was in
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
percussion.
Well, and there's like 5 of us or whatever
Yeah.
who were in the percussion section, but we only had like snare
2
drums and a
things,
bass
yeah.
drum. And
Mhm.
it was like, okay, so everyone's doing that and one person's doing bass drum. And then now they do a lot more because they've expanded the program and stuff. But
Yeah.
they were always like, I just remember seeing stuff like that. I was in a gifted program that was fun. So I
Nice.
got
Very
pulled
cool.
out of class once a week or something like that for like an hour to go do a different thing, which was all very fun.
I found
That's
her.
when I got to go to space camp for a day.
You found her? You looked her up?
I downloaded Facebook so I could look up.
Oh
murder
my
thoughts.
god, how is
Yeah.
she?
She's alive,
Good.
Incredible.
which is shocking.
How old is she actually? Do you know?
77.
Okay, so she was about what you thought.
Yeah. You want to see her?
Sure.
I'll show you, not the internet though. Let her live in peace.
Is that her man?
I think that's her man.
He's
This is-
back.
But this was her.
She looks
back-
like a teacher.
This is her back in the day.
Can I see it? Yeah,
Yeah, that's her back
that
in the
was
day.
her back in the day.
She's giving
Yeah.
Santa Claus vibes
Sure.
a little bit.
Does the picture with her man say "Welcome home"?
I wish. I want to know.
Those 30 years were hard.
I want to know. I want to know who her man is.
I'm sure we
she's-
can look it up in the system.
Yeah, we'll look it up in the system later. But yeah.
In the system,
Yeah.
I was like,
the prison system.
Yeah.
All right, Brandon.
You can just
you're-
ask your parents.
Sorry,
Just do
I
that.
totally derailed.
Just
you
ask your
middle
mom. Be
school.
like, "What was it? What was that deal?"
Well, they had a falling out.
Well, that's the thing.
When
That
my-
means she's ready to spill the tea.
Honestly, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, they had a falling out because when our mom came out, they're like, "Well, we're Southern Baptist.
Yeah.
Can't have that."
Fire and brimstone, all that.
Very that.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
1993.
Wait, I was gonna say something.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, because you were talking about middle school,
Mm-hmm.
and for me, middle school is the first time I learned how to cook. Because I had culinary.
I was so
I
jealous
couldn't
that
take
you
those
could
classes.
do the
It
culinary
was so
class.
fun.
Yeah.
It was the best.
They had a little restaurant that they made.
Yeah.
middle
That's
school.
exciting.
Like
Every
'cause we had a
like
kinda big
Friday
middle school.
morning,
Mhm.
all of the culinary students like went to work, and you could go order like a full on breakfast.
Yeah.
It was the best.
Mhm.
I
was-
never got to take.
It was my own personal Waffle House, and I just said, "Can I have a waffle? Can I please have a waffle?"
What they say?
They were fighting in the
Yeah,
back.
they're slamming each other in the counter.
Yeah.
Since I was in band, I never got to take some of the classes because our school was so small.
Same.
So I never got to take wood shop or home ec or any of those specialty classes,
Oh, if
which
I
was always
could do
really
wood shop
frustrating.
nowadays, that would be really
Yeah, I
fun.
would have now knowing me now, I would have loved it.
Wait, can we? We can make our dreams come true.
Are we gonna
Um,
go
Is
do
there
a
a
wood
wood
shop
shop
class?
Maybe
I'll
Which-
pass on
find the
that.
queer wood shop.
for adults.
But yeah, I always felt like I missed out on that because everyone was like, "Look at the pajama pants I made," and I was like, "I want pajama pants."
Do you want me to make you pajama pants?
Well, no, not anymore.
We can go to Joanne and you can pick the fabric.
Shout out Joanne. I mean, I could do it myself now, but I just remember being in like 7th grade and being like, "Oh,"
Fun.
where everybody's walking around with little pillows that they like knitted and stuff like that. And it's like, "Oh,
If you want a pillow, I'll make you a pillow.
where's my pillow?" I'm over it now. I've got a lot of pillows now, and blankets, and pajama pants.
I make you blankets.
Yeah,
Anyway, yes, there are some classes you can make stuff, or you can just do general stuff.
interesting.
Oh, I got a text Reese about the pottery class.
Mhm.
Because we were like, friend date, pottery.
There you go.
Anyway,
1993.
The year of Jurassic Park.
I was not alive.
I was barely sentient at that point. I was 3 years old, so
Did your parents talk about you when you were a kid?
I have home videos
Oh, fun.
of me being 3. But it's also like for a very long time, my parents would do like birthday videos and like ask a series of questions or whatever. So that's the only memory I really have of being 3. I remember getting like my birthday, I got like a memory game, like like a match the tiles memory game. And that's about all I remember.
With a little peg, and then you gotta put it in, and it's made of wood.
No,
That's what I
like
remember.
flip the card and then you have to find the matching card.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
Classic.
understand.
I had that. I think I had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles pajamas.
Very cool.
I'm trying to remember that video. I can picture myself like on the couch in my first house I grew up in that space, but that's about it.
I can tell you when I was 3.
But I was like, I feel like I was like a sentient being at that point. Like I was talking, I was active.
Yeah, most 3-year-olds are.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was
you
an
know.
idiot.
Yeah, no,
But,
like,
like-
you weren't making like,
I didn't make sense.
yeah, the
It was-
logic wasn't there.
Yeah.
For me, it was Elmo tea parties and playing with Kim Possible on the fireplace.
Oh my god,
Oh,
and
yeah,
the
it
Kim
was-
Possible doll with the magnetic snowboard.
Oh, yeah.
and you can take her off, and you can be like, she's walking, and then
I remember that
put her
ad.
back on, and then slide down.
There's literally like a several long minute video on our home videos somewhere of us just huge marble like fireplace and us just going
Oh yeah.
all around it. It was so fun.
Oh yeah. No, for me it was all Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I don't think Power Rangers was out yet.
No, I don't
I
think
think
so.
I was too young for that, or too young at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the vibe, cartoons and all that.
Classic
I don't
3-year-old.
remember
I
don't
love a
remember
good
much more than that.
cartoon, you know?
Yeah.
It's fun. All right, new year. New me.
New me.
1995.
It's about the same.
Okay.
I started school.
1999.
We were too.
Yeah, so now it's your turn to be Babby.
We have a lot of home videos.
Mm-hmm.
I think a project that our grandpa did one year was he took the tapes and put them on CDs.
Ooh,
We could
yeah.
probably ask our
Digitized
parents
them.
for them.
That was
or
a pretty
for the
popular thing to do.
files.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should probably ask for the files because I'd love that.
Yeah. But, like, a big thing our mom especially was
She filmed everything. Any event,
she loved
birthday,
Yeah.
Christmas, Easter, just cutting our hair for the first time.
we are actually probably still at the first house.
Mm-hmm.
Our parents had technically three or four houses over our lifetime. The first one was a single story family home, and it was like very small, and eventually we would go to the main house, which is the multi-story, like, big place.
Yeah.
I don't actually know where the first house is located, but what I do remember was and what our dad always reminds us of is that when we were so young, we had bunk beds and we had JJ jet plane stuffies, and I think there was at one point a time where I did make a mud pie. I made out of actual mud.
That was at the bigger house.
I think it was at the bigger house, but I still enjoy it, and I think it's in a similar time frame.
Yeah.
But when we were very young, in general, our parents loved getting Chinese takeout, and there was one place that they frequented so often that they knew us.
They knew us by name and also like by order, like
Right.
because
Yeah.
we would have to call them up. The moment we started saying they were like, "Oh, hi, Gerald." Like,
Yeah.
that's-
It was like a locally owned. It wasn't like a chain.
It was
one
a
of those-
local,
yeah.
like, you know, it's a local place.
we still go there now. When
No,
we go
it's
visit.
not Flamingo Palace.
Oh, it's not.
It was a different place.
Oh yeah, that's
And
right.
I think they closed down.
we did.
And it was too far because we moved to like a totally different neighborhood. But I remember because it was walkable. Like, we could walk to it. And our dad would take us in the little red wagon, and we were so young that we could both fit in, and then in between us he could put all the food.
I don't remember this.
And he would take us and we would go get the food and we would go home and we'd eat it. But apparently before they closed down, there was a point where we went because we were kind of in the area, and it was maybe like a decade later.
Yeah.
And they recognized us. They were like, "Holy shit."
Love that.
Like, maybe wasn't a decade, but it was quite a few years
A while
later,
since
and it
you've
was
been.
like we were not small, and we certainly could not fit in a little red wagon anymore. But yeah, our dad really liked that place.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I forget what it was called.
When Dad finds
Yeah.
good Chinese food, he will go.
He goes
he
in.
remembers.
Yeah, that's why I'm big on takeout like places. I'm like, I need to know the takeout places, and I haven't really. Well, okay, I found like an Indian food place that I really like here.
We haven't found a good Chinese food place.
With
though.
the Jade Grill was pretty
We like
good.
Jade Grill,
We
though.
like Jade Grill a lot,
Yeah.
and we found a dim sum place. So it's like we found some options.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's always Panda Express to fall back
My
on.
biggest
Exactly.
thing,
In a pinch.
my biggest thing in the first single family home that I remember are the Elmo tea parties that we had almost every day.
Mm.
I would get
That's a lot
in
of tea.
my little plastic high heel shoes that were like half an inch or even like a quarter inch high.
Walk a mile in these
With
Louboutins.
and I would, and they're like 3 or 4 inches too long for my feet, and I would just clop all around and put on my little tiara and my little outfit, probably a princess dress like Cinderella. I was obsessed with Cinderella.
Yep.
And Rachel would wear Belle because she was brunette, and I just wanted to be the big blonde beautiful woman.
I didn't like that she wore a yellow dress. I was like, any other color would have
You're
been
like,
better, in
please.
my opinion.
What,
But I
what
liked that
alternate dress color could I have?
But I also was like, you're smart, so I'll take it.
Yeah. You know how to read a book.
Yeah.
I was in it for the romance, which is
Yeah.
why I probably liked Cinderella. Also, I liked the little mice and the fact that she made a like pink little dress. I was fascinated with the
Gus.
movie. Plus, Gus is just
Gus
cute.
Gus.
Anyways, put on my dress. And we had the tiniest little chairs and a little round table,
Mhm.
and put Elmo there. And then I would grab my dad's hand and drag him to the table and just pour water in these like shitty little teacups. And then Rachel would have to come and play Tea Party with me too.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the best.
And you're like, I'm trying to read in my library
Period.
Rachel's trying to make mud pie in the back.
Yeah.
In the backyard.
for the tea party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a catering
Well,
gig you had.
and that's how you know Gerald, our dad, is really good with kids. Like, he's also very good
He's
with our
really
nieces
good
and
with
nephews.
young girls.
Because he just he knows to get into character.
Yeah.
He knows how to like just be like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
it's your world,
our two
and I'm just living in
nieces-
it.
Mhm.
Our
Yeah.
two nieces, when they were like really young and like starting to grow up, they were obsessed with Gerald, and they still are.
There's
'Cause
nothing
he's
like
so
someone who'll commit
nice.
to the bit.
Period.
Yeah. He's just
And
great.
he does commit to the bit sometimes as an adult, but it's just a different dynamic.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a different bit. I was 9.
Yeah.
Spent some time playing on the farm. I didn't live on the farm, but one of my best buddies did.
What was your favorite part of the
He
farm?
lived on the farm. We had like free roam ability of that farm. It was
That's
kind of
so
nuts how much like
Yeah.
autonomy they gave us, but like we were good kids. So,
Yeah.
but like we would drive the little gator around, like the little 4x4 little thing.
How fun.
Very fun. And we would just like drive around the farm and just go see things. And there were little baby. It was a dairy farm, so there were little baby cows and their little huts, and we got to go pet them and say hi.
Did
and
you ever
then-
name him?
No, at that point I didn't. Now I would have names for all of them. and I
Wait,
would
what would you
remember.
name then?
There's too many.
What would be the first name that
Probably
you would give
Daisy because it's like stereotypical, but like
Fair
I'd
enough.
do it. Because there has to be one. Like the most classic looking cow would probably get Daisy.
out? What would the brown cow get?
Chucky.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Coco.
driving around a lot. I got to drive every single one of those tractors on the farm at some
How
point.
fun.
It was very cool. We got to help out with like the farming tasks, like the easy ones, which was really
Yeah.
cool.
Did you ever collect eggs?
There was a dairy farm, so there were no
Fuck,
chickens.
oh,
It was
sorry.
No, it was, at one point my friend did have goats for a minute, but then they didn't do that anymore.
Seems too chaotic.
It just didn't fit. Like it was like we
Yeah.
have these goats, but like whatever. So we do a lot of that. We would go out in the fields. So there were cornfields surrounding, so we would just run through the cornfields. You could pick corn straight off the thing and eat it, which we did a couple times.
Fun.
Yeah.
Well, you'd have to shuck it.
Well, yeah. You know.
That's easy to do.
Yeah. But all that stuff, and it'd be fun. It was just literally just running around the farm. I got to watch a cow give birth and all that stuff
Mhm.
very early on and stuff. I watched a man put his entire arm into a cow and pull out the baby because it was stuck.
Was there a point where you were like, I would like that?
No, never once in my life was I like shoulder length. That'd be cool.
I meant just a man inside.
Not like that.
All right.
But
Figured I would ask.
no, it was wild though because the cow was born and then like all the afterbirth and stuff comes through.
Yeah.
And then I got to watch this man's dog eat it.
Ew.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
gross.
That's disgusting.
It's a great dog, but yeah, no, I learned a lot on that farm. And then the other major thing
Learned
that
about
was
nature.
yeah, that was definitely Power Rangers time, which is very
Hell
cool
yeah.
for me. And then also that was the year of Pokemon in the United States.
Ah,
So that was a game
you're
changer.
so right.
When I got my first Pokemon game because Pokemon Yellow
I'm so
came out.
excited about our Nuzlocke.
Yeah,
We're doing a Pokemon
If
Nuzlocke together.
people are hanging out in VC tonight, I'm doing the gym.
the gym.
I have to level up my people.
Level.
I'm only at level
I
10.
removed myself from
You
the
can only get to
schedule.
level 12, right?
Correct.
I removed myself from the schedule to let other people play. I already have my Nuzlocke.
Because I
saved
realized, I
anyways,
looked
too.
at the schedule and I was like, I'm only at the beginning and the end.
Yeah.
No in between. And that was
Well,
a
yeah,
little
that was
upsetting.
Reese and I were saying that too. We're like, we need to get like the most out of it because it's really giving you an experience to play it, and then us kind of joining in too. But
Yeah. I just want color commentary on when
Yeah.
I do stuff.
Mhm.
Also, it's scary because I'm the beginning, the electric gym, and
The end.
the end.
Yeah.
And I picked the water Pokemon. So if my starter's still alive, I'm scared.
Yeah.
Because it's the electric gym.
Mm-hmm.
My Pokemon almost died yesterday.
I know. I was watching. It was intense.
I killed my first Pokemon in my Nuzlocke.
Sad.
I
Which
killed
one?
a Drifloon.
That's so sad.
It is. I used Aerial Ace and then Knockdown, and it one. I think it two-shot him, and it was so sad.
The unfortunate thing is that I wanted to name the Bidoof. Oh, so context. We're talking about a lot of things and we didn't give any context. For the viewers out there, we're doing a group Nuzlocke with 4 people.
With Pokemon X.
We were gonna do it with 5 people, but we could not split it up evenly to make it equitable. We're playing Pokemon X, and we're doing a Nuzlocke, and everybody is doing a different gym.
Mm-hmm.
And I have 3 gyms. One of the gyms is the champion at the end. Cynthia?
No.
Oh, what's her name?
It's
No
the
clue.
guy.
Oh, okay. The
black
guy.
hair guy. Yeah.
It changes every time, so I don't know.
I don't know. I just know that one of them is Cynthia, and she's got
She
blonde
is.
hair.
She's great.
But I started after much toil on how to make it so that we could transfer files from one person to another. We figured it out. And I started. I picked Froakie because he's the best. Wait, but I got a girl Froakie. She's the best. And we're also
Rare
doing.
pool.
I know, and we're all doing different naming conventions for our Pokemon. And I picked crimes. So I have Froakie, the named Arson. She's great. Then I have. Who did I pick next?
Blackmail.
Oh yeah, I have Blackmail, the Scatterbug. Then I have, who's the third? Panpour, the
Chemical warfare.
Abbreviated. And then I got 2 others. I got a Bidoof, and then I got a Bunnelby. But unfortunately, when I got the Bidoof, I said, no, I don't want to nickname him. And I can't nickname him until I get to a certain city.
Yeah.
So I need somebody to help remind whoever is that person to name Bidoof Terrorism.
Yeah.
And then my Bunnelby is Racketeering.
Rabbiteering.
You want to know? I'll name a few. I have my Fennekin starter. His name is Hot Chip. I didn't have any naming conventions when I started, and I just said, I want to name it Hot Chip. And, he's great. I love him. He's now a Braxian. And then I got a couple more Pokemon, but the biggest one is that I started naming them brands. And so, like my Bulbasaur that I got, I named it Balenciaga.
Love it. Fancy.
It's very good.
But yeah, that's one thing that we're doing that's very fun.
I am also enjoying IKEA,
Yeah.
But yeah,
the Beetrol.
anyway, I think that's our show.
That is our show.
We talked about a lot of different things, some of which related to different ages, some of which not related to anything at all.
Tangents.
It was great. But now it's time for the show, part of the show where we roll for wrap up.
Roll.
All right. So for those of us who are joining us for the first time, welcome. What an interesting episode to join us on. We do 3 things to wrap up. This is the show where it's a roulette. We roll to see what happens next. Ashley has 3 sets of dice. She has a D4, which determines which one of us here.
D6.
Sorry, she has a D6 that determines which one of us.
Now I have nothing.
It went
Where
under
to
your
go?
chair.
I'm explaining still.
This is why I'm not allowed to roll.
She rolls a D6 to determine which one of us
Brandon's gonna
wraps
roll
us
now.
up. They pose a question and we talk about it. Then we roll a D4 to see how they wrap us up. They may pose a question, they may talk about a memory, or they may do something else, stuff like that. And then the last thing, you'll see on your screen at the moment, there is a list of 20 different topics. This is where the game of chance really begins. We roll a 20-sided die. Shown here. And we look at this table and we say which topic we're going to do next week. And that's what's the fun thing about this podcast. You never know what you're going to get. Sometimes you do, but most of the time you don't.
Brandon's rolling because, as you could see, I cannot be trusted with dice. Anyways, continue.
2.
Who's that?
Ashwee.
No, it's Rachel.
Okay.
No, it is
No,
me.
it's Ashwee.
It's me.
I should just know our numbers.
Yeah.
2.
Fun fact or anecdote?
What's your fun fact? Or anecdote? We had so many facts. Surely you can think of one. Come on.
Did you know that Sentret turns into Furret?
I did.
Yeah, very cool.
That
I
is
caught
a
a
fun
Sentret
fact.
recently.
Thanks, Pokemon.
Is it what kind of Pokemon is eccentric?
Normal. There's a little,
I have too many normal types.
He turns into Furret, which is a ferret.
We need some variety
Listen,
in the Nuzlocke.
you get what you get.
Well, that's the thing. I have 2 normal types, 2 water types, and a bug.
Yeah,
That's
it. That's because you're at the beginning of the game.
Right. And so
that's what
I'm just
exists
telling you right now, pray.
Yeah.
I almost said spray.
Ashley got a water type.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did get a water type. I forget what it. Oh, it's one of my favorite.
It's your favorite. Yeah.
One of my original favorite Pokemon that I ever got was a Marill. Turned into Asmeryl.
Ready?
Yes. Now we're looking at next week's topic.
16.
What's 16?
I'm a grandmother.
I'm a grandmother.
Word chain
Mad Lib.
reactions.
Oh.
No, it is Mad Libs. I just can't read.
Mad Libs.
Mad Libs. We did that
I
before.
really need my prescription soon.
We're going to do goofy words games.
Goofy word game.
I love Mad Libs. I loved doing it last time.
Yeah, last time was very fun.
Where we made poems.
We're going to call them Happy Libs.
Why?
Because I don't want to be mad.
Okay. I think they're saying
All right.
that because it's
Yeah, it's like
All
crazy.
right.
crazy.
You'll see us later.
Bye.
Mad Libs. Bye.